Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Nicole and I do pick a card tarot readings on this channel. So if you're not familiar with that, I will explain it in just a moment. But today we are focusing on finding out what our week ahead is going to be like. We're looking into messages and predictions and whatever else we can find for the week ahead. So I have 3 piles right here. You can choose via number. This is 1, 2, or 3. You can choose whichever pile you're most drawn to, or you can choose whichever crystal you're most drawn to, which I will give a close-up of in just a moment. So if you want to find out more about your week, or you're interested in pick a card readings and seeing more, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate the support. And without further ado, let me give you a close-up of the crystals and then we'll get straight into the readings. So we have, for pile 1, we have Laboradorite. I think that's how you pronounce it. But this is a really pretty crystal. It has a really nice sheen. We have Pyrite. I like this one because it's in the shape of a heart. And we have this Citrine crystal right here. It's very pretty. Alright, go ahead and pick the pile that you, or crystal, that you are drawn to, and we'll get straight into the readings. Hi pile 1! If you chose this Labradorite crystal right here, then this reading is for you. Please keep in mind that this is a general reading, so please take what resonates with you and leave the rest. We'll start with your overview cards for the week. So these cards here in the middle. We have the 9 of Water in reverse. And Never Ending Story. Okay, so the first thing that I'm really seeing here is this 9 of Water. When I look at this card, I'm really drawn to her expression here. It's making me think of the word longing. It's like she's longing for something, maybe a person, a dream, something that she doesn't have, something that she's really focused on. And for a lot of you, I feel like this is something that didn't work out, whether that's fresh from last week, last month, or something way in the past. Especially with the never ending story right here, I feel like whatever this is has affected you greatly because you just felt so emotionally invested in this that it may have caused some scars, whether you realize it or not. Never ending story reminds me of kind of being stuck in a cycle, and it may be due to the fact that you haven't dealt with this scar, or you weren't aware that it's there, or you aren't fully aware back then that you're still longing for whatever this is, and this is coming up and spilling into your week for whatever is coming ahead for you this week. There's a lot more I can say about this, but I actually want to see the rest of the cards before I go into that, just to get more details for your week ahead and to see more of what this is going to affect throughout your week. So we'll start with the top card. We have the Hanged Man. We have the Queen of Earth. We have the 6 of Fire. And we have the Fool. Okay. Okay, so yeah, it's very similar to what I said earlier with the 9 of Water and longing for something, and the never-ending story and the cycles. So for this week, the card representing what the universe wants you to focus on is actually the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is usually associated with surrendering. So I think whatever this is that's coming up for you this week, whether they're memories or feelings, or something is happening this week that is going to make this come up. The universe wants you to surrender that. It wants you to release your grip. Maybe like this is making you very emotional and emotionally invested again in remembering this, whether you want to or not. But the universe is here reminding you, you don't need to think this way or remember it or hang on to it. It wants you to release it. It wants you to let go of those thoughts that maybe you're thinking, oh, what if the same thing happens again to my goal? Or because I have a feeling that you're a lot closer this week, or you're making strides and expanding this week, and you're doing really well in overcoming whatever issues that you've had or blocks that you've had on your path for achieving your goal this week. And I think you're having trouble accepting it. I think you're having trouble receiving whatever your blessings are that's coming in for this week, for this cycle, because you're getting hung up on what happened in the past. And yeah, I'm really hearing the message, oh, what if this happens again in the past? What if I fail again? What if it doesn't work out again? There's a lot of anxiety on those what if questions, but that's the thing that you want to remember in situations like this, is to turn those what ifs into something positive. What if it does work out this time? Or what if I don't fail on whatever this is? What if I actually really triumph over my obstacles this time? So that's what you're being reminded of for this week. Okay, so there's a message that came through with the Queen of Earth and the Nine of Water together. So these cards usually, especially when this one is in reverse, sometimes they can be associated with overindulgence. So the message that I'm getting from this is just make sure, if you're kind of feeling down, especially if you're the type to fall into retail therapy, this week is not the week to do that. And just do things in moderation this week. If you need to take a rest, or just, I guess, feed and find some kind of way to, because sometimes when the Nine of Water is in reverse, it can also mean that you're lacking that feeling of fulfillment. So find a different way to get that fulfillment, whether maybe you can watch your favorite show or something, or eat your favorite foods. But I'm getting the sense that you need to do whatever that is in moderation, and to be wary of what you're spending this week. Okay? And yeah, so if you can get over this, if you can find some way to just not let this hold you back, you are going to move towards something really beautiful and actually more abundance. You'll be able to receive better, and you'll also be able to head into the unknown, which is what the Fool is usually associated with. Like, look at this card. This card is so beautiful. It's so magical, and that's something that you're heading towards. But the thing is, you're having trouble accepting that, just because I think that you're having trouble receiving abundance now on what is something that's supposed to be yours, because you're asking those what if questions, like what if this doesn't work out kind of things. All right, so I want to see what else we have for your oracle cards, and then we'll have some affirmations at the end. Okay, so we'll start with abundance. Okay, and then we have Listen to wisdom. And we have prosperity and abundance. Okay, that is amazing that you got 2 abundance cards here. And actually, technically you have 4 about abundance here. So you have the Queen of Earth and you have 9 of water. Even if this is in reverse, originally it does mean like fulfillment and abundance. And that's the thing, a lot of us think that abundance is always about prosperity. Yes, it's linked to that, but it's also about fulfillment. It's about being fulfilled in all sorts of ways, whether that is in money, prosperity. It's also feelings of abundance in love, and it's also fulfillment in self-love and confidence. So those are important things to keep in mind for this week ahead. Okay, and another thing I just noticed, actually, this whole reading, like I've felt very shaky and very nervous, and I'm not sure if that actually shows throughout the reading, but that's an energy I'm feeling from you, Pile 1. I think for this week there's this energy coming from you that's just of lack of self-confidence and self-worth, because I think you're really being called to recognize that this week, to make the most of this week. You have the Queen of Earth, you have the Fool, that prosperity and abundance card. These cards all scream self-confidence, self-worth, and just belief in yourself. Believe that this isn't gonna happen. You are not gonna let this happen again. That you are a different person from where you were from when this happened to you. You don't have to stay in this cycle. You just need to recognize that you are so much stronger and wiser, and you've taken all the lessons that you can from that time, and that you are going to be able to make things happen this time. That you shouldn't be afraid of taking risk and going into the unknown, because this card is all about triumph. It's about being able to overcome obstacles. It's about being to come out on top. It's about being to come into the light. And actually, as I said that, something just came through. If you have any goals this week about social media or something about communication or something like that, your comment or something is just going to really come through and shine this week. Take whatever message that means to you, and whatever you're doing for this week. This week seems to be a really good time for social media or getting noticed. Don't know who that message is for, but congrats to whoever that is. There's also a message here about listening to wisdom. So again, I think that's more of like an inner wisdom thing. I think something in you is telling you that you are so capable of being able to do this, or maybe it's going to come in a form of a mom or a mother figure, someone that you see as that, because that image is making me think of that. Or it could be from your guides. This week might be a good time to communion with your guides, with your angels, whichever one you resonate with the most, just to listen to what they have to say, because maybe that's what you need this week. Maybe you just need someone to tell you that. Maybe it's this reading that you need to tell you that, but there it is. I'm saying it now. You guys, you're confident and you are capable of doing this, okay? You are capable of getting out of whatever this is, of what you have felt in the past and whatever is lingering from the past. You are able to overcome that, and you are able to make it through and see your goal through this time. And it's actually a lot closer than you think it is. All right, so we have the last two cards here. I was only supposed to get one, but two came out for this group. So this is supposed to be your affirmation and something to keep in mind for this week. So we have disappointed, I didn't need it anyway, and we have insecure, I embrace my imperfections. Okay, yeah. This is basically the same message that I said earlier, but yeah, whatever this is, whatever disappointed you in the past, like this affirmation said, maybe try saying it this week when some of these emotions come up, when you start saying, oh, what if this happens again, or I didn't get this last time and I really wish I did. Well, you know what? You're still here, right? Like, you're alive, you made it through, you have a new goal right now if you're here, and you're working towards whatever that is. So maybe that didn't work out in the past and you're fine right now, so maybe you didn't need it in the first place. And same thing with this is embrace your imperfections. Embrace that wherever you were back then, that's where you were, but you aren't there now. You may be seeing that as an imperfection, but you don't need to, because you are in a much better place now, and you are, again, much wiser and stronger. So don't be insecure and be confident this week. All right, I'm going to end the reading there. I hope that was helpful, and I'm sorry if I was kind of shaky and nervous in this one, because I'm really feeling your energy this time, like pile one. Don't be nervous this week. Don't be insecure. Don't let those things get you down that happened in the past. You're doing really good wherever you are. All right, thank you so much for watching this reading. I really hope it was helpful. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. It would mean so much to me, and I really do appreciate any support I can get from you guys. Again, thank you. Have a lovely rest of your day. Hello, pile 2. If you chose the pyrite crystal right here, then this is your reading. Please keep in mind that this is a general reading, so please take what resonates with you and leave the rest. We'll start with your overview cards in the middle. So we have the 5 of Earth, and we have a leg up. Okay, so this is great actually. So the 5 of Earth is usually, it's about a lack mindset. It usually deals with financial loss, or just kind of a time where you're kind of low on money, or you're just in a mindset that like things aren't going real well, or things aren't going the way that you want it to be. But with the 5 of Earth in reverse, it actually means that you're recovering from that, whether that's the mindset or you're getting your finances in control this week. You are supported with the leg up. I feel like this week somehow you're finding support, or you're just finding a way to be more independent about where you were from back then, and you just kind of have a leg up on the situation this week. You have some way of just making it through this week with a much better mindset, and just knowing that everything's going to be more okay than they were before. This could deal with many things, so I'm actually not going to say too much on those 2 cards until I see the rest of the cards. Just because a leg up can mean so many things. Like, if we take a look at this card, we have it looks like a mama polar bear with its baby bear, and it's just this little guy is just hanging on for support. So maybe that's you. Maybe this week or maybe coming from last week, somebody offered their support and you're hanging on to them this week. You know you're supported this week. You know that things are going to be more okay than they were before because things are finally moving this week, or they're changing this week. Could be that. So let's see what the rest of the cards have to say. So we have the 8 of Fire. We have the 7 of Water. The 5 of Fire in reverse. And we have Strength. Okay. So, this is interesting, actually. Like I said, I feel like you're coming out of a situation that you were before. I think it had a lot to do with something financial. Your financial situation could be improving this week, or something has happened that will improve your financial situation, or it could be your mindset of lack. You're just finally realizing that, okay, I could do more, or I do have help. But this feels like it's going to be quite a chaotic week, I'm not gonna lie, and it feels like it's going to be a fast week. It feels like there's going to be a lot going on, and especially internally too. It feels like you're coming out of a transition for this week, because this card, actually, I'll start with these two. So we have the 5 of Fire in reverse, and we have the 7 of Water, which is why I'm thinking that this week seems and feels very chaotic to you. And you have the Strength card also, which is about, to me, it's about like calming that inner chaos. It's calming that, you know, inner lion in you, and things that's just been going on internally. But we have the 7 of Water and the 5 of Fire in reverse, which this card is usually about conflict and competition, upright, but it's upside down. I'm feeling more like things are going to be about internal conflict this week, or just this week I would just be careful of how you communicate with others, because I feel like this week you're actually feeling quite charged with the 8 of Fire up there, and it just feels like you're coming out of things, and since you're new and coming out of how you've been feeling in the past, maybe you've been feeling pretty down and sad, you might be trigger happy this week. Like, things can upset you pretty easily, so that's why I'm saying just be careful with how you communicate with others this week, and remember to rein in your emotions, and remember that whatever one might say, is it because something they said was just upsetting, that it didn't feel right, or is it because you're having your own internal conflicts about things and you're projecting or maybe taking it out on them? Because, okay, so this 8 of Fire, it's pretty, it's charged, there's a lot of fire and orange around, but it's, okay, sorry, my camera cut out. I'm really sorry about that. But I had a time limit and somehow it didn't record more. But as I was saying with the 8 of Fire, this card is usually very charged. This one is actually more calm than other 8 of Fire or 8 of Wands in the traditional tarot. But what I'm seeing with this card is this person in the middle. To me, it almost feels like she's calling in these orbs of fire around her to her. Like, that's the feel and sense that I'm getting to this, or they're illuminating her in a way, in a sense that maybe they're drawn to her. So I think this week you're being called to rein in your energy and emotions and manage how you use your energy this week. because like I said, it seems like you have a lot going on this week, especially with the Seven of Water too. This is about having a lot of choices, and a lot of the times this happens because of outside influences. This is usually about having, too many choices, illusions, and daydreams. And to me, I feel like this is due to outside influences, because sometimes, usually this card comes up when people are making choices, and then all of a sudden somebody brings up something else that may not be as related, but then it gets in your head and you start to feel overwhelmed by those choices. This week, I have a feeling that that's what you're going to be feeling like, is just you're feeling overwhelmed. I almost wonder if some of you are starting a new job this week, or maybe you're starting a new position this week, something related to that, or something related to something new about finances, and that can often be overwhelming, especially if you've been in a situation maybe where you didn't have a job before this week, or you were just in a financial strain in the past few weeks. This can be very overwhelming, because I have a sense that you want to do a good job at it, but at the same time, like, starting something new like this can be pretty overwhelming and chaotic, as I said. That's what I'm feeling, and it's very strong, is that it's a very chaotic energy that's coming from you, pile 2. And I'm sorry, I feel like that's why this reading has been pretty chaotic and scattered too. So let me get to the oracle cards. Okay, so sorry, camera cut out again. This should be the last time. It was having a memory issue. I'm filming on my phone, but it should be all good now. But as I was saying, I wanted to get to the oracle cards to see what other advice or information we can get. We have these 2 cards here from I think this is my Everyday Witch Oracle deck, and we have 1 card, another oracle card here for you, and then we will get to just your affirmation of the week to keep in mind. So we'll start with these 2. You have Give Love and Connect with Gaia. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then this one says Elixir. Okay, let me bring this up so you can see it. There. So the Connect with Gaia one makes a lot of sense with this reading, just because, like I said, this week just feels incredibly chaotic for you, but it feels like you have a lot of energy. It feels like you're being energized, coming out of this situation, or starting something new this week for some of you, and that's great, but at the same time, you don't want that energy to take over, because then as chaotic as this week looks already, you want to be able to rein in that energy so you can use it efficiently. So one of the ways to do that is to ground yourself, which I think is what the main message that we're getting with the Connect with Gaia here. As you can see, this person is very rooted to the ground. It's very connected with the earth, very grounded. You know, being grounded or even walking on the grass can make us feel a lot more calm. It helps us more think clearly, and it just helps ground you when you're very emotional, so that you can think more rationally and, I guess, go about your week more and make better decisions. And the Give Love that I'm seeing here is, I'm seeing this as more for yourself, but also I think to the it could be to the others around you, for those of you that are more getting this warning about, you know, being careful with how you interact and talk to your peers this week. If you feel like you were being triggered, sometimes it's better just to walk away in that situation. And just remember not to take anything too personally this week, and to remember to always give love to others, and, you know, think and make decisions out of love. And let's see, with the card, the elixir here. Yeah, this is a similar message with connect with Gaia. Elixir makes me think of like a life medicine. It's kind of like a energy and vitality. That's what it makes me think of. So it's just making sure that if you do have a lot going on this week, or it's starting to feel like that, just remember to rein in your energy, and for whatever that means to you guys, whether that's meditating or going outside, walking on the grass or something, or just resting and sleeping, just make sure you balance that out so you can make the most out of this week, because I feel like this week you are in a way getting life back into you. You have the Eight of Fire here, especially that card is making me think of calling in your power and calling in your energy again, because you're getting out of a difficult situation that you were in the past with the Five of Earth. So that's great. And it's making you feel like you have a lot of life. That's really, really great. It's just that you want to make the most out of this week, because you have momentum and potential here. All right, so the affirmation to keep this week is powerful. Look at that. Try to stop me. Okay, that's kind of ironic, because here I am telling you guys, rein in your energy this week, and this one is try to stop me. But I think what it's saying is be confident and go about your week knowing that you are supported, you are coming out of a situation, and you have made it through. So go ahead and rein in that power and energy. Just make sure that you're doing it efficiently, and that you are being kind to others as well, and that you are giving yourself love and love to others. Okay, so I am going to end the reading there. I really hope that was helpful for you guys. I hope it gave you some insight and guidance for your week. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate any support that I can get so that I can keep doing this. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you guys on the next video. Hello, Pile 3. So if you chose this citrine crystal right here, then this message is for you. Please keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take what resonates with you and leave the rest. We'll start with your cards in the middle. They're your overview for the week. So we have the Hermit. And we have milk and honey. Okay. Alright, so the message for this one is actually coming through pretty clear. The Hermit is all about looking in. It's about finding your spiritual compass and really knowing and soul searching. For some of you this week, this could be, I mean, because this is a weekly reading, right? It's not always going to be like a big momentous discovery or something happening incredibly crazy every week. For some of you though, this week will really feel like an awakening, or something that you're really discovering about yourself, and whatever that is like your pot of gold or pot of rainbow, like you finally figured it out kind of feeling. That's what I'm getting from the milk and honey right there. But I feel like for a lot of you, the overview and energy that's coming in for this week is just it's just time to retreat a little. It's time to look within, and time to I love the representation of this card. Actually, sorry, I just went on a tangent. But it's different from other hermit cards, and this card is like a door with different keys. And yeah, this, I feel like this card is more about retreating and maybe taking some time out for yourself, just to pick one of the keys and figure something out about yourself. And I feel like when I first started learning the hermit card, I didn't actually know what that meant. I didn't know what it meant. What am I supposed to do, you know, to look for myself or to search for yourself? And the simple answer, honestly, is sometimes just like I said, taking time out for yourself. Because usually when this card comes up, I feel like it's a time when people have just had enough of what's going on with life, or maybe dealing with other people, that they just need a little bit of time to recharge, to look within, and to kind of figure out what they want next, whether, you know, for next week, the next day, or for their life. It's one of those things that you just need a little bit of time to go within. And for a lot of you, that can mean many things. Like, for those of you that like to journal, this is a great week for it. This can mean meditation for a lot of you. For those of you that, you know, are more into the spiritual aspects of life, this card is very, very spiritual. So for this week, whatever your spirituality is, or whatever you believe in, it's a really good time to spend some time for yourself, soul searching and working on your spirituality. All right, so let's see what else you have going on for the rest of the week. So we'll start here on top. We have the Fortune's Wheel. All right, it's the same thing as a Wheel of Fortune on the tarot. We have the Seven of Earth, we have the Seven of Fire, and you have the Empress. Okay. Okay, so let me, sorry, messages coming in. I'll start with the Fortune's Wheel. So the Fortune's Wheel, for most of the time, it depicts a change that's coming, and this change is usually, it's usually a good thing. It's because if you think about a wheel, right, like, it's a circle. It goes round and round and up and down. And for a lot of the times, it means that eventually it'll lead to a very positive change, that things are finally moving and turning in life. But I feel like for this week, because this card is also, it has like the up and down meaning to it too. It means that there are times in life where things are just, it's really great, and sometimes you're on the bottom of the wheel and you're just kind of feeling down, or maybe you're not having such a great day. And I feel like this week is going to be more like that. But since you have the Hermit card, since you're taking the time to retreat, and that can be the reason why you're being called to go within more this week, is just because you're riding this Wheel of Fortune. There are some days that are great, some days that are not so great. But the thing with writing this is that there can be many lessons that you could learn, and there's a potential with the Wheel of Fortune of if you're ending, you could be ending on a really great note at the top of the wheel, but wherever you are at the end of it, the lessons that you learned and the things that you're taking with you at the end of the week is really going to be beneficial moving forward with your goals, with whatever you learn from this week. So I'm just gonna come out with it. Like, I know for these weekly readings, I know people usually want to see things are moving forward in their life, or maybe they want like a more fast paced kind of week. But I'm seeing this week as more of a mellow week for you. I really feel like this week is just really going within, retreating, resting, doing some self-reflection. Especially because you have 2 sevens here. I just realized that. You have the 7 of Earth and the 7 of Fire. And the 7, if I remember correctly in numerology, it's more of like, it's more about spirituality, and it's also about going within. I would actually almost say that it's very similar to the Hermit. And honestly, these 3 cards, the 7 of Fire, the 7 of Earth, and the Empress, it's very much very much individual. Like, this card usually traditionally is about your self-beliefs and defending those things, but it's usually just one person on their own defending that. Same thing with the 7 of Earth. This is about assessing your goals and assessing where you are in a materialistic sense. And of course, the Empress is about confidence, abundance, and creation and independence. So that's why I'm seeing that I think this week is a time for you. It's a time to reflect on what your beliefs are and your goals. So what I'm actually seeing with the 7 of Earth here is, if you've been working towards a goal and honestly you're just not sure where it's going anymore, then this week you're being called to actually just stop thinking and worrying about this stuff and look within more and think about what your values are, and are you really where you want to be, and are you really doing what you want and what you love? Is this something that you really want? Is this person who you really want to be? Or is this person who you want to be with? Instead of focusing on the materialistic sense of this card, meaning that, oh, okay, let's say if it's a business, maybe you've been obsessing over marketing a business or something, and you're just not sure what you should do at this point about it, and you've been trying to go back to the drawing board and figure out what you should do next, because maybe things have been working out and then they work out and then they don't, and you're just like, okay, where am I even going with this? Like, I feel like you've kind of lost your vision on what the goal actually is to begin with. And maybe that's why you're being called to take a... Okay, sorry. So as I was saying with the 7 of Earth, my camera cut out. Sorry about that. It stops at 10 minutes. I'm trying to fix it for my future videos, but I just wanted to finish off what I was saying with the 7 of Earth is, I feel like this week you're being called within because maybe you have kind of lost sight of the vision because you're so focused on making the material stuff work, whether it's a business or whether you're looking for a new job or something, and maybe you've just kind of lost what you really wanted in the first place. And that's why you're being called to look within, so that when you do finally do another evaluation of your goal, then you'll be more focused, and the decisions that you make and the plans that you make will be geared towards more of what you wanted to manifest in the first place. Alright, so I'm going to move on to your oracle cards. We will start with these 2. I really love this deck. We have the Go With The Flow one and Affirmations for Acceptance. Okay. Alright, so yeah, definitely, like I said, definitely this week is feeling very mellow for you, Group 3. Like, it's kind of like what I said in the beginning of the reading that's reminding me of this, but I feel like some of you has just had enough. Enough with people lately, enough with your situations and life, and you're just like, I don't want to touch anything. I don't want to go near anybody. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be here. And it's just time to really like settle with yourself just for this week and just not care about anybody and take care of yourself first, okay? Because for some of you, especially with the Empress card, this is coming through when I looked at the Empress card. I feel like some of you have been dealing with some family obligations, and that may be causing as to why you're needing some time alone for yourself, because it's great that you've been helping with your family, it's great that you've been taking responsibility and obligations, but it can be very draining. Sometimes we put so much energy into what other people need because, you know, we love them and we care for them and we want to be supportive, but sometimes if we put in too much, we don't leave much for ourselves, and that's the time when we need to kind of recharge and come back to ourselves and remember what it is that we want for ourselves too. You know, we gotta leave something for ourselves. And let's see what else. Oh yeah, we have the affirmation of acceptance. So, and it's interesting that it has like, let me take a look at this. Let me take a closer look. This is actually really cool. This is like, it has the word faith in there. It has those dice there. Oh, it's interesting because you have the fortune's wheel too. I just realized that you have 3 major arcana in this. So I think this week, while not much is going on outside, I think there's a lot going on internally, and it's going to lead to a very good change once you come out of this week internally, because I feel like you're gonna be in a much better grounded mindset as you come out of this week. And okay, so what was I saying with this affirmation for acceptance card? I feel like with this card, just with the fortune's wheel, just accept whatever comes this week and just go with the flow with it, just like that card says, because I feel like whatever is coming in for you this week, it's interesting because there's this tornado back here. I'm not saying it's going to be a bad thing. I'm saying it's going to be just like the fortune's wheel. As you can see, she's doing a pretty great job of getting away from it. She has the word, her faith book right there, and she doesn't seem distressed about this at all. She's just kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna get away from this, and I'm not even gonna look there. We're not even gonna consider it. We're just going to keep moving forward. It's kind of a similar message to the fortune's wheel. It's just whatever comes your way this week, just focus on working on yourself and focus on getting yourself together and getting closer to this milk and honey, this Empress energy of abundance, and remembering what it is that's you want in that and what's gonna get you there. Okay, so we have these 2 cards here. You were only supposed to get 1, but you ended up getting 2. So we have a healer and slow down. Yeah, I feel like it's the same message as I've been saying, or very similar. This week is just really to slow down for yourself and take some time to heal, whether internally or externally. I feel like you guys could really, really use the rest, and you could just benefit from being by yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with not interacting with people for a week. Just take some time for you. self-care for you. Maybe do a mani-pedi this week or something like that. And this is your affirmation for the week. Blocked. I will push through. Oh, you know what? That's really interesting. 'Cause okay. So what I'm getting with this card is I think this is how this came to be. If you've been feeling blocked lately, like I said, with whatever your situation is, I got some messages about family here or obligations or things not working out, whether that was like with a business or a goal, and you've been going back and forth to the drawing board with that. So I feel like this week you're addressing these blocks. Going within is really going to help you address what's been blocking you and what's been keeping you from seeing what the original goal was to begin with and what it is that you really want in life moving forward, or at least moving forward for the rest of the month or into the new month, I guess. All right, so I'm gonna leave it there. I hope this reading was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. I would really appreciate your support. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day.